And we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and get started. And if I don't get to your questions right away, please understand there will be some time at the end as long as it's relevant. Understand that these webinars are specifically for education about Centric Protocol. This is not an update video or an update live seminar. This is strictly educational about the protocol, how the tokens work, why a two-token system, and then where we can access them and use them. It talks more about the utility of the protocol than anything else. Let's see if we got anybody else. Cool. Robert from the USA, just like me. Awesome. Welcome. Very good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get started at centric.com. And thank you, team, for putting up the basics page and the white paper. Those are really the best places to start. And I'm going to go ahead and pop over there. And this is the best venue for you to learn about Centric. We have very active Telegram channels, both the Centric Camp, the official Centric Camp. There's another Centric Camp out there that's not official, but the Centric Camp, where all of our Centric campers are learning about Centric and following up on the project and what's happening in the market. And then the official Centric chat, which is, it's kind of like the Centric Camp. It's very similar. Both are very live. The other place on social media outside the website and Telegram that we're very active on is Twitter. At Centric Rise on Twitter is the best place to stay connected with Centric, see what's happening, because things pop out really fast. We do have a blog right here on the website as well, and we also have a very active Discord group with over 2,000 members in the Discord group. But this is Centric.com. And Centric.com, if you look up at the top upper left, there's a Learn tab. And thank you again, team, for popping the basics in there. If you click on this, you'll go to centric.com/basics. If you want to deeper dive into the protocol, you want to learn about the use cases. Why did the Centric team build and execute and deploy Centric? You can learn all about that in the white paper. I'll touch on a few things as they come up, but let's go ahead and get into the basics. Again, this is centric.com/basics. Centric is a currency, not a security. We have 3 legal opinions on 3 different continents, basically digging into what Centric is and that it's a currency. It's meant to be transactional. And we believe that if a cryptocurrency is a cryptocurrency, it should be transactional. But this is where we learn about the dual token protocol. Why 2 tokens? Most projects just have 1, or if they have their own blockchain, they have 1 coin. Why 2 coins? Why 2 tokens? If we look over here on the right, we have Centric Swap CNS. And Centric Swap CNS is sometimes referred to as a zero-sum cryptocurrency. What does that mean? That means that its sole purpose is the reinforcement and stability and support of Centric Rise and the network. It's our freely traded token. And later on during this webinar, we're going to go out to an exchange. We're going to get some CNS. We're going to bring it back into the native wallet and convert it to Centric Rise, because that's what most holders of Centric are doing. Can you hold Centric Swap? Absolutely. I've got a little bit of Centric Swap sitting in one of my wallets specifically for transactions, because there are some businesses that accept CNS. But most of the Centric that I hold personally is sitting in Centric Rise. And understand that nothing that we share today should be taken as financial investment or tax advice. If you have questions related to that, or you want to get some advice, you should talk with a licensed professional who does that, specifically on the tax side. Understand this is a global protocol, and we have investors and holders all over the world, and every country is a little bit different. Some countries, crypto is taxable. Other countries, it's not even seen as an asset, so it's not taxable, and everything in between. And there's even a small handful of countries where it's not legal, because that's actually less than 10 countries globally where it's actually officially illegal. For the most part, crypto is legal, and whether it's taxable or not, you need to do your own due diligence on that, your own research, and connect with a tax professional on that. Okay, so Centric Swap, again, we refer to it as zero sum. I always like to refer to it as the onboard offboard token to the Centric economy and the Centric Network. It provides unlimited liquidity to the network into Centric Rise CNR. It's traded on exchanges, centralized and decentralized swaps, and it has an elastic supply. What does that mean? Its price is determined by the market, although CNS is designed to be $1. Understand that. So every time we access CNS from the market, whether it's secondary markets or swaps or something like that, or you're on a platform that has like yield farms or something like that, and CNS is integrated, every single CNS, think about it as a future dollar. That's the way I look at it. When I buy CNS and it's less than $1, because it's been trading less than $1 since it's been out there in the market, I see it as being on sale. Okay, so we look at CNS as electronic dollars, and what do those electronic dollars do? They basically provide unlimited liquidity to the network. And if we look at what the protocol does, it's a self-regulating protocol. When Centric, the idea for Centric was originally designed by the architect and the original founding team, they all got together and they said, you know what, this cryptocurrency thing, it's great, but there's lots of volatility. And we don't think a traditional stable coin is the answer. We think there should still be an investment component here where there's an incentive to hold because it goes up, but we got to find a way to stabilize price. And the team believes that that's using those two tokens. And if you go back to the beginning of Centric as a two-token system, because we were actually a one-token system for a period of time, we deployed as a two-token system in early 2020. So for about 2 years now, we've been a two-token system. And Centric Foundation minted 1 billion Centric Rise tokens. If we look on the left there, Centric Rise, there were no CNS. There was only Centric Rise. 1 billion Centric Rise tokens were minted by Centric back in early 2020. There will never be another minting. And the follow-up question is almost always, why is there CNS in the marketplace? There's almost 10 billion CNS in circulation. How did that happen? The power of minting CNS is the holders. It's not Centric. Again, it's self-regulating. It's fully decentralized. As holders of Centric Rise decided they wanted to move out, maybe to move to a different cryptocurrency, move into cash, something like that, they minted CNS, okay? And so all of the CNS that's out there in the circulating supply has been minted by users, not by Centric. And if we look at what CNR really is and why was only CNR minted, because it's the true flagship. It's the true transactional cryptocurrency of the Centric network. For those of you who are familiar with what Centric is doing in the marketplace today, where we're gaining adoption today, actual use cases, CNS is transactional as well. It's already integrated for payments with a number of companies. But the long-term gain or the long-term plan of Centric is to have Centric Rise be the primary transactional token. And again, that's why when we look at CNS as being future dollars, every single CNS token, we want to hold Centric Rise. And I'll tell you why. If you're not already familiar with this aspect of the tokenomics of Centric Rise, is Centric Rise yields more CNS every single hour. That's how it's designed. And just by holding Centric Rise, you gain those hourly yields. How does that happen? The team calculates, they forecast a little bit, they calculate what the yield of Centric Rise is going to be for the year, and then they hard code it to hourly price blocks. So every single hour, hour after hour, Centric Rise CNR tokens are yielding a little more CNS. And we already know what the price of Centric Rise is going to be this time next year because those price blocks are out there for everybody to look at. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually look at those next. But these two terms seem to be conflicting with each other, don't they? Deflationary and inflationary. How does that happen? Deflationary supply means that remember we had a billion CNR, that's going down every single hour. Inflationary price means that the price of CNR is also going up every hour. So there's this beautiful self-regulation that's happening in the protocol. Every hour, CNR grows a little bit. Every hour, a certain portion of the CNR sitting in quarantine in the protocol, not in user wallets, sitting in quarantine in the protocol is also burned away to balance out the network. And one of the questions that we've gotten before is, well, isn't CNR just going to burn out at some point? No, that's never going to happen. I'll tell you why. Right now, during this phase of Centric, we call it the adoption phase. This is where people are hearing about the network. We've got over 57,000 holders of Centric in the network, and that's growing. Right now, the yield is double digits every month. It's very high yield. That's not going to be like that forever. When CNS eventually becomes that dollar and stabilizes at $1, the growth of CNR as well as that hourly burn are going to slow way down. And it's going to slow down to about 4% a year. And if we look at what's been happening recently, there's some pretty intense yields. The APY is around 300%. It's down a little bit now, but we're going to look at those prices of Centric Rise right now on the key metrics page. And if you want to know exactly where to go, you go to centric.com/metrics. Again, centric.com, click on the Learn tab, and you have everything you need to do your own due diligence on this protocol. You can really look at it. If you're technical, you can go to the Explorer. Okay, you can go right to the Blockchain Explorer and review every aspect of the protocol. Wallets, both tokens, everything. Okay, and of course the price blocks and transactions. Okay, so we're at centric.com/metrics. We believe financial freedom for the next generation can be stable, reliable, trusted, and untethered from existing assets. What does that mean? That means that Centric protocol is capitalized by itself. Where does the true value come from? It comes from the community. It comes from the markets. And as the market values CNS, by translation, they're valuing Centric Network and Centric Rise. Okay, so we look at Centric Rise here, and over on this is all in the metrics page, the key metrics page. The current token price of CNR is $293.78, almost 79 cents. And now this is Centric USD. This is not the US dollar. And basically what we use the USD for is like a measuring stick. It's to measure the protocol because everyone in the world understands what the US dollar is, and they use it for measuring. And we do the same thing at Centric, but this is Centric USD. Okay, so another way to think about this is 293.7895334.1 CNS. Okay, so there's over 293 CNS inside of every Centric Rise token. That's a great way to explain it. If we look at the token price over on Centric Swap, this token price comes to us from CoinGecko. And CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, these are places online that measure the markets, the crypto markets, the currencies, the crypto exchanges, and so on. This gives us the current price, and this is the actual USD price of CNS. And of course, obviously, if we're looking at CNS as future dollars, it's really on sale, isn't it? Okay, so it's a lot less than $1, so we can pick up a lot of those future dollars for very little money. I'm going to show you how to do that after this. Okay, and then right below that on the left, we have the hourly yield. Okay, almost 0.02% per hour. It's yielding right now at the current monthly yield of 14%. That's not a year. That's for the monthly yield. Okay, and there's our initial supply. We were at 1 billion. Now the max supply is 877,676,358.41. So we can see that it's come down quite a bit. Over 10% of the total global deflationary supply of Centric Rise has been burned away. And there will never be any more CNR minted. All right, so if we look down here, we are on the BSC, the Binance Smart Chain. When Centric was originally developing Centric protocol, we were an Ethereum smart contract, and then we pretty quickly moved to Tron. And we moved to the Tron blockchain because it was a lot less expensive for development and movement, and it just gave everybody a better user experience. But after almost 2 years on Tron, we decided to move to the Binance Smart Chain because what does the Binance Smart Chain offer our community and offer Centric protocol? A lot more opportunity. So the BSC is just as cheap about as Tron for moving about the blockchain, gas fees, things like that, transaction costs. But where the BSC is crushing Tron and a lot of other blockchains is just the meteoric development that's happening on the BSC. There's lots of projects that are developing things. We've made a lot of great connections. We actually have several partnerships with other BSC protocols. So that's pretty cool. Okay, Beep 20. I'm going to talk about Beep 20 very quickly, just because I want you to kind of wrap your mind around something. Like to like, okay? And when we talk about like to like, what am I really talking about? Cryptocurrencies have different versions or different numbers. Bitcoin has its own version. Ethereum and Ethereum-based tokens have their version, which is ERC20, okay? When we were on the Tron blockchain, Centric Rise and Centric Swap were TRC20 tokens, okay? Now that we're on the Binance Smart Chain, we're BEEP20. If we were on Binance Chain, we'd be BEEP2. This is very important because whenever you're sending tokens anywhere, you want to make sure that you're going like to like. Bitcoin to Bitcoin, Ethereum to Ethereum, Centric to Centric. I try to send Centric to a Bitcoin wallet, the Centric's gone. I try to send Bitcoin to a Centric wallet, the Bitcoin is gone. And we know lots of people who have lost lots of money because they didn't use the right version number. And we all make mistakes. You know, this is not the hour for me to hit people over the head. but we all make mistakes, and we got to be responsible for those mistakes. And we're responsible for our money in this new era, this Web3 era. People are their own banks. And if you want to be your own bank, you got to do the learnings. Okay. So BEEP20 is what type of version Centric tokens are. And Centric tokens can be held anywhere that has customization for BEEP20. Okay. We look at the distribution of Centric Rise globally. About 70% or so. The blue section, that's the public. Those are people all over the world that are holding Centric. And so obviously most of the tokens are being held by individuals out there in the world. And if we look at the price blocks at the bottom of the key metrics page. I really like this because it highlights, obviously, Centric Rise is yielding CNS at 14% for the month. Just under 0.02% per hour are just being produced, which is just incredible. And we said we're right almost at 300, 293 and change. We started out the month of February at 264. We'll end at 301. So you can see that it's just slowly growing. But where are we going to be at the end of the year? I'm always curious about that. So we're still at 14% until May, drop down to 13%. Remember I said that we're not going to be double-digit yield rate months forever. When do we go down to 9? Okay, 9% is January of next year. Okay, so you see that it's starting to go down because this type of a yield is not sustainable. But it's locked into the blockchain. It cannot be edited. So for those of us that are in the network, we're enjoying these yields, whether we have our CNR sitting in the Centric wallet, the native Centric wallet, or somewhere else, we're enjoying those yields. And this is not staking in the traditional sense, because staking, normally you have to lock up your tokens. You don't have to lock up your Centric Rise to gain the yields of CNS. What we're going to do now is I'm going to take you to what we call the getting started guide. And if you start at centric.com, we get this question sometimes, Joel, where do I get Centric? I don't know where to get it. I'm glad you asked. You go to centric.com, you can see all of the places where Centric is available. Right here on the main page, you can click to view exchanges, and that shows you all the different exchanges that Centric is currently live and trading on. We can go all the way to the bottom, click on guide, or you can start at the top and you hover over and see where the resources are. About us. All right, we're just going to go back over here because you can click Get CNS as well. All right, so we're going to click on the Getting Started guide. And I like the Getting Started guide because, again, it has the message of what we're about. Centric it's designed to be a global borderless currency. And then it shows us where can we get CNS today. We can get CNS on Ascendex. Ascendex has the CNS USDT trading pair. What does that mean? A trading pair is when we take one cryptocurrency and get another. When I first started as an investor, because that's how I started with Centric, I was a retail investor like everybody else. I started out buying Centric with Bitcoin. And if we look at Probit was actually the exchange I used. I used to use this exchange quite a bit. I haven't used it in a while, But they have two trading pairs. They have CNS with BTC, or the Centric Bitcoin trading pair, which is what I was using to load up and accumulate. And then they also have the CNS USDT trading pair. Okay. Now, I like the CNS USDT trading pairs because that's basically a stable coin. And what is Tether? Tether is a stable coin. It's electronic dollars. So there's no volatility. Obviously, there's no investment component either. But when we load up with Tether or any other stable coin, we know that when we move it around on the blockchain and we're waiting to place trades, that we're not going to lose any value. Okay. And so today, when we go out to the exchange, we're going to go to MEXC and we're going to get CNS with USDT. Fib swap's pretty cool. I'm not going to click over to Fib swap today, but it's a multi-chain DEX or cross-chain swap. Basically, you can plug in a wallet, either MetaMask or Trust or one of the other compatible wallets, to Fib swap. And if you have Ethereum or Solana or Polygon, Matic, or any of these types of tokens that are connected to that multi-chain DEX, you can actually get CNS using a variety of tokens. It's actually pretty cool. Pancake Swap has the most volume by far, next to Ascendex. As far as swaps go, you can get in there. There's lots of activity on Pancake. Rasta Finance and Croc Swap, these are two more of our BSC project partners that we connected with when we got onto the BSC last year. Changely Pro and HitBTC down here both have two trading pairs each. You can get CNS with Tether or CNS with Bitcoin. Changely has also been enabled with a credit card on-ramp through Indicoin. This is actually pretty cool. Now, this isn't available in the United States yet, but there's several countries throughout the world where you can actually get CNS with a credit card or a debit card if you're connected to a bank. So you go to centric.com/guide, scroll down to where it says buy CNS with a credit or debit card, and you can see if you can get CNS in your country using a credit or debit card. Okay, and then we got BitHum Global, Hotbit, and CoinTiger. They all have one trading pair each with Tether. Converting our CNS to CNR, why do we want to do that? Like I said earlier, why do users of the network want to get CNS and then they want to convert to CNR? Because they like those hourly yields. They know that my CNR tokens are going to yield every single hour. And that's what I've seen. That's been my experience as both an investor and now as CEO. And this has just kind of been humming along. Having a self-regulating protocol that's fully decentralized is great because it's like, people come to us and they say, hey, can't you guys crank up the heat and burn more CNR or really, push the CNR yield rates up? Nope. We're just working toward adoption organically, and that's what we're going to continue to do. But CNR is great because it yields more CNS every single hour. And as CNR becomes more scarce, those CNR tokens are also becoming more valuable, and those of us holding CNR actually are gaining market share. Okay, so inside the native Centric wallet at wallet.centric.com, where we're going to go in a second, and the Centric Swap tool, which is at centricswap.com or bsc.centricswap.com. These are the only two places we should be converting our tokens between CNS and CNR. You try to swap out your tokens anywhere other than this, you're going to potentially have some major slippage issues. So you don't want to do that. You want to either, if you're outside the native Centric wallet, you want to go to bsc.centricswap.com, this tool right here, or you're going to do it inside the native wallet. Now, the only issue with converting your tokens back and forth at centricswap.com is that you're going to need to add a little smart chain BNB. Okay, so BNB has BIP2, which is regular BNB coin, finance coin, and then smart chain BNB or smart chain coin, which is a BIP20. And of course, we're BIP20, so you're going to need to have smart chain BNB in there to pay for your transaction costs. And that's when you're doing the conversions or sending. But if you're using the native wallet, you can do everything in Centric, which is pretty cool. Okay, where can I hold my Centric? You can hold it obviously in the native Centric wallet. You can hold it in MetaMask. You can hold it in a SafePal wallet. SafePal has both a software as well as a hardware or cold storage wallet. Number of other wallets that are compatible with Centric. Trust Wallet. I'm a Trust Wallet user and a Cleaver Wallet user. Token Pocket, Binance Chain Wallet, Math Wallet, Ellipal Wallet, and then Ledger Nano S and X are also on the hardware side. And the great thing about the Getting Started Guide is it has all kinds of other resources to help you be successful with Centric. Okay, we're going to go back up to the top, and I'm going to stop share, join you back in the main room, see if we got any questions over here. All right. Yeah, great question, Crypto Rags. Team, if you could possibly put in the chat we actually have a really cool explainer video. We have 3 that are pretty popular that have come out in the last few months. But team, if you don't mind dropping the explainer video or videos in the chat, that would be really cool, because that actually helps answer a lot of things. Okay, so safely storing our Centric tokens and converting them and moving them, because sometimes we want to send tokens to a friend or family member. Maybe we want to spend some. But setting up a native Centric wallet is super easy. It's free. It's secure. You're going to want to add a nice, good, strong, solid private password. Don't share this with anybody. And what you're going to do is my recommendation is write it down somewhere. Redundancy is really important. So you want to write down your password for your native Centric wallet. Okay. And then I added 2FA on the wallet, an additional level of security. Okay. And this wallet's great because it shows you the current value of the wallet. And we're going to get into the wallet in just a second, but I want to talk about 2FA just a little bit more. And what does that mean? That's just one more level of security. And anybody can set up a brand new wallet. You just go to wallet.centric.com, you click on new account, and you walk through the steps. You just need an email address, a good, strong, solid private password that you control. And again, I would write it down somewhere safe so you don't forget. And then add that 2FA. So if we go over on the left-hand side, we see the word dashboard. And understand, if you're watching this on a phone or a device with a small screen, some of this might be difficult for you to see. But I want to just kind of walk through it with you really quick. If we drop down to where it says security, click on security, so you have a green dot right there. If you have a brand new native Centric wallet, you're going to have a red dot right there, and you're going to need to enable or activate that 2FA. And again, I use Google Authenticator. You can use Twilio Authy. Either one of those will work. And that just has one more level of safety and security on your wallet. And understand that if for some reason you need to reset everything, there's a 7-day lockout. So be careful, write everything down in a safe place, and be careful with your crypto, because you are responsible for your crypto, okay? Whether it's Centric or any other crypto. All right, so we look up at the upper left-hand corner, we've got the portfolio value, and it's a little over $800 USD. That's the actual value today. Right underneath it, there's our CoinGecko price, okay? And so CoinGecko, that gets updated about every minute or so. And then if we go to the far right, we have that circulating supply. This is the total global deflationary supply of Centric Rise CNR. There will never be more CNR than there are today. And in this hour, every hour there's less. So if we look at that small number right below it, 0.001608%, that's this wallet's percentage of the total global market share. So this is the market share of this wallet. The cool thing is you can actually increase your market share every hour just by holding. You don't even need to add any additional tokens. Of course, if you're like me and a lot of people I know who do DCA, dollar cost averaging, every week or so we're buying more and we're putting it in. But even if you just were to make one initial, purchase of Centric and you converted to Centric Rise and held it, you're going to be gaining more market share every single hour because the total global deflationary supply of CNR is going down. Okay, we go right below that to Centric Swap. You can see I'm not holding any CNS. All my Centric is sitting in CNR on this wallet. And we go over to the far left, the lower left, we have over 14,000 CNR. We multiply that times 293. Remember, because there's a little over 293 CNS per CNR token, we're going to end up with 4.1 million CNS. Okay, and we see that's going up every second as well. Now, I want to talk about that for just a second. We noticed that the updates are happening in the wallet every second. That doesn't mean that you're getting a yield every second. The yield happens on an hourly basis. So how do the updates happen second by second in the wallet is the growth that happens, the growth and the burn, right? That happen every hour. That happened in the previous hour gets spread out over the current hour by seconds. So you have 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in an hour. There's 3,600 updates in the wallet every single hour, and it's based on the growth of the previous hour. Okay. Now we're going to look at these 6 buttons across the bottom. We've got send, request, convert, send, request, convert. They're all the same. Send is if we wanted to send tokens. Okay. And this could be to friends or family, or it could be to a business. Okay. I've done that before with businesses that accept Centric Rise or Centric Swap. I can send right from the wallet. Super easy. You can also do it from Trust Wallet and a number of other places. But the request, this is like the deposit button. Okay. And we click on the request button. We're going to click that, this big hash address or wallet address ending in B7D. Okay, we copied that. We're going to close that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stop share. We're going to save that for a second. I'm going to come back with you in the main room, see if we have any questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of the exchanges. We're going to, and like I said earlier, we're going to go to the MEXC exchange. And I've got a tab open for that. And again, safety and security, most important thing you can do. We're going to use our trusty email address that we use for all of our presenting at Centric. And then there was actually all right. So there's all this fun stuff to keep things nice and safe. And again, we've got our 2FA with the codes that update every 30 seconds. And this one is all right. So let me in. And what I'm going to share with you, you can actually get KYC'd on MEXC.com and you can buy Tether right from MEXC. That's a process that basically you have to show them your ID or passport and you go through a process. You might have to share a utility bill or something with MEXC, but you can buy Tether inside of MEXC. I personally normally get my Tether from either Coinbase or Crypto.com or Binance, but you can, wherever you can get Tether, as long as you can get it here to MEXC.com, you can buy Centric with Tether. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to scroll down to the Tether that I moved in here earlier. I moved over 126 Tether in. That's like $126 USD. If we click deposit over here, we're going to get this screen right here. And I don't know if you can see this, but remember when I was talking about versions of tokens earlier? This is what we're talking about here. Okay, TRC20. Okay, that would be a Tron-based Tether. BEEP20 would be Tether based on the Binance Smart Chain. Solana chain, Hectomatic, ERC20 would be the ones that I moved over from Coinbase because Coinbase is Ethereum based, okay? So making sure you know what you're doing is critical. I mean, getting the Tether here is the most important thing, but you need to make sure whatever Tether you buy, wherever you buy it, that you know the version number and that before you try to deposit it in MEXC or anywhere else, that you've got the right version set up for the deposit, okay? So I'm going to go to markets. And then if we scroll down a little bit, there's a search window for markets. I'm going to put in CNS, which is Centric Swap's ticker symbol. And there's the CNS USDT trading pair. We're in business. Cool thing. It's been up and down a little bit. It's down a little bit. It's at 1944, which is cool. I actually bought some Centric yesterday and it was just at 20. So we're getting it even more on sale right now. All right, so what we're going to do is sort of scroll down into the market a little bit. We got the order book on the order books on the left. We've got the buy right here. If we had Centric and we wanted to move back to Tether or to cash or something, we could sell. I'm going to do a market order and I'm going to put in all of the Tether. So 126, so I'll put 127. It's going to default. Click buy. And it's ordered successfully. We got a little less than 5 Tether left, which means we're done. Okay. Now, in most cases, you need at least 5 tether to buy CNS. Okay. So if we had like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tether left, I would do another market order to get a little more CNS. But look at what we got at that price. We got over 600,000 CNS, 600,000 future dollars for a little over $100 USD. That's pretty cool, right? That's how we look at CNS. CNS are future dollars. Obviously, they're going, the price of CNS is determined by the market, but CNS is designed to do that. That's its whole purpose, is to be that onboard, offboard token, that future stable coin bringing liquidity to the network. Okay, and we can generate more of it just by holding Centric Rise. Okay, let's go to wallet up here on the right. Overview. Okay, we got our CNS. We got a little bit of tether left, but we want to withdraw that CNS to the native Centric wallet. And if you see that on the far left, where it says Centric Cash, you see that CNS Centric Cash. CNS's name used to be Centric Cash. When we were on the Tron blockchain, CNS was referred to as Centric Cash by name. We actually changed the name of Centric Cash to Centric Swap when we moved to the BSC. We believe it more accurately describes the utility of CNS because its whole purpose is onboard, offboard token, okay? It's transactional, yes, but its main purpose is providing unlimited liquidity to CNR, okay? And there's that address, that wallet address ending in B7D. We're going to select all, okay? And look, one of the reasons I like MEXC is the reason I like the native Centric wallet is we can pay our fees in Centric. Now, do I want to give up 3,300 Centric? No, of course not. But it's convenient, right? We pay for convenience, don't we? Okay, if we did this on another exchange, we might need to move in some smart chain BNB to pay the fees. Okay, so we're going to submit this. We're going to get a code. There's 2 levels of security. One of them sent to the email address connected with this particular exchange account. When I say that, I mean the particular exchange account, MEXC. And then we plug in our 2FA on Google Authenticator. And the withdrawal order has been submitted. Please wait patiently. So we're gonna track the status. I'm gonna refresh over here. Okay, it defaults to deposit. We'll click on withdrawal. It says pending. I'm gonna stop sharing over here. And I'm gonna go ahead and share the wallet so you can see those tokens on their way. They might not be over yet. Okay, so we're back in the wallet. I'm going to refresh the wallet. Okay, it's not ready yet, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the exchange, go back to MEXC, and we'll, aha, look at that. I don't have to go to Q&A just yet. Okay, cool. So we have the little over 600,000 CNS have been moved from MEXC to the wallet. And now what we're going to do is we're going to convert it. And why are we converting it? Again, the power of Centric Rise CNR is its ability to yield more CNS, more Centric, every single hour. So we're going to click on convert. We're going to convert all of it. That 614,405.11 CNS gives us just over 2,000 CNR. That's really cool. We're going to click on next. Again, 2FA to complete the transaction. These codes update every 30 seconds. So I'm going to wait another 5 seconds for the next code. And then we're going to pop that in there. Press convert. And then it's going to start working for us right there. Processing. Sometimes it moves faster than others. Depends on, the nodes on the BSC. Sometimes it's slower. Sometimes it's faster. Sometimes it doesn't happen. But the cool thing is that we can do everything inside the native wallet, and that's super helpful. We got over 16,000 CNR, and if we look at it, if we see CNS as future dollars, that's how we see it at Centric, then we know that the value of these 16,000 CNR today is over almost 4.8 million CNS. If CNS was trading at $1 today, the value of this wallet would be $4.759 million. Okay, so that's something to think about. Whenever we access CNS and bring it in to the ecosystem, convert to CNR, and no matter where we're holding that CNR, we're really holding on to future dollars, which is really cool. Okay, so we got the portfolio value, circulating supply. We see that there was an uptick. We were at 0.0016 on the market share. Now we're at 0.01846. We gained quite a bit of market share, didn't we? What is that? Tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths. So that's 24 10,000ths on the market share side that we added to this wallet just with that last buy. And that was only 126 tether or 120 tether, whatever it was. So awesome. Well, I'm going to stop sharing here. Meet you back in the main room. We are at 1/4 to the hour. See if we have any other questions. And moderators, if you could drop me a quick message, see if there's anything else that we need to cover today. Thank you so much, team, for dropping that explainer video in there. There are a lot of really cool explainer videos out there. We got 3. If you go to Centric's official YouTube channel, I think you can see all 3 of those explainer videos. Really helps you break down, make sense of the protocol and all of that. And understand all the socials for Centric. They're all at centric.com. Go all the way to the bottom of the page on the lower right. You're going to see all of our official socials. You can click on them. Okay. Some of the platforms were not as active, but like I said, if you really want to connect with the active community of Centric, you're going to go to our official Twitter and our official Telegrams, and then of course our Discord community. Okay. And like I said, lots of good stuff on the YouTube channel. All right. Let me see if there's anything else we need to cover today. All right. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Remember, we're always here every other week unless there's some kind of an issue. So we'll be back in not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday. And if there's something you missed, feel free to connect with us on Telegram or Twitter. You can always come back and understand this is an excellent place for anybody you know that's new to Centric or new to crypto to kind of come see what's happening here. And do we answer all the questions? No, but we do our best to try and get you as many good resources as possible. Cointelegraph, Decrypt, Medium. There's a lot of great resources out there. Just do your own due diligence, learn as much as you can, be your own best advocate, and be your own bank. All right? Take care, everybody. All the best.